You know, there's this powerful idea that building real wealth has almost nothing to do with the size of your paycheck. It's all about the choices you make. So today, we're going to break down the 7 key purchases that separate the people who just look rich from those who actually become rich.
So let me ask you this. How is it possible that someone earning, say, 75 grand a year can retire a millionaire, while someone else earning double that, 150 grand, ends up with nothing? It just doesn't seem to add up, right? But it happens all the time. The difference isn't the income, it's the entire strategy.
It really boils down to a choice between 2 completely different paths. On one side, you've got the looks rich path. This is all about financing a highlight reel for social media. It's fueled by debt, chasing logos and trends, and honestly, it just leads to a whole lot of stress. But then there's the becomes rich path. This is about building actual wealth. It's focused on owning assets, buying real quality, and most importantly, buying back your time. And that leads to real freedom.
So first things first, we have to build our foundation. You can't even think about playing offense with your money until you've got a rock-solid defense. So this first section is all about creating that financial fortress, the security you need to handle pretty much anything life throws at you.
The first purchase isn't flashy. It's not glamorous at all. It's an emergency fund. What you're really buying here is security. And you have no idea how critical this is. Just look at this data from Bankrate. Over a third of Gen Z has 0 emergency savings. 0. That means 1 out of every 3 young people is just one unlucky moment, a flat tire, a surprise medical bill, away from a total financial disaster.
And this isn't just some abstract concept. Here's what it looks like in the real world. A teacher in Chicago gets laid off. She has no cushion, no emergency fund, so she's immediately forced to start living on credit cards. In just 3 months, she's $8,000 in debt. It took her 2 full years to dig out of that hole. An emergency fund would have turned that life-altering crisis into a simple inconvenience.
All right, the second foundational purchase is automation. This is the secret weapon, seriously, because it removes the single biggest point of failure in any financial plan, which is us, our willpower. Let's be honest, willpower fades, but a system just works. You set up automatic transfers for every payday, and just like that, you make building wealth the default. It's no longer a choice you have to make every single day.
Okay, our fortress is built, the defenses are up, now it's time to go on offense. This next set of purchases is all about igniting your growth engine. These are the strategies that don't just protect your money, they actively make it grow and grow and grow over time.
Purchase number 3 is incredibly simple and unbelievably effective: low-cost index funds. The secret here isn't trying to be a genius stock picker, it's time. It's all about time. Just look at these 2 investors. Investor A invests for only 10 years and then stops completely. Investor B waits 10 years and then invests for 30 straight years. Now, even though Investor B invested way more money, Investor A ends up with over $130,000 more. Why? The magic of compounding. The most important thing is just to start now.
Okay, this next purchase might be one of the most powerful things you can ever do. You're investing in yourself. We're talking about buying skills that are rare and valuable out in the marketplace. This has nothing to do with working harder. It's about increasing your value so you can command a much higher income.
Let me give you a perfect example. There's a graphic designer making 60 grand a year. She invests $3,000 to learn a new skill, UI/UX design. Within 2 years, she literally doubled her income to $120,000. That is an insane return on her investment. The lesson here is so clear. Money flows to value, not just to effort.
All right, next up is a purchase that most people completely sleep on: a health savings account, or an HSA. This thing is like a financial cheat code. It's basically the only account that gives you a triple tax advantage. The money you put in is tax deductible, it grows completely tax-free, and when you take it out for medical costs, it's, you guessed it, tax-free. It's an absolute powerhouse for building wealth. And why does this matter so much? Well, because of this number right here, over $300,000. According to Fidelity, that's what the average couple will probably need for out-of-pocket healthcare costs once they retire. An HSA lets you prepare for that massive expense in the most tax-efficient way possible. It's like a secret retirement weapon hiding in plain sight.
Okay, for our final section, we're going to move beyond specific accounts and tactics and into the mindset. These last 2 purchases aren't just about spending money. They represent a fundamental shift in how you think about money, status, and what you truly value.
The sixth purchase is a mindset, choosing quality over logos. Genuinely wealthy people buy things that provide long-term value. And the math is just so simple. Check this out. A cheap $80 pair of shoes that falls apart in a year costs you $80 per year. But a high-quality $200 pair that lasts a decade? That costs you just $20 per year. Being strategic is literally 4 times cheaper. Durability? That becomes the real status symbol.
And this all comes down to truly understanding the difference between assets and liabilities. Sam Walton, the billionaire who founded Walmart, famously drove an old, beat-up pickup truck. He could have afforded any car on the planet, but he knew that a car is a depreciating asset. It's a machine designed to lose value. He focused his money on things that grew in value, not things that lost it the second he bought them.
And our final purchase is what's called a strategic experience. Now, you've probably heard the saying, buy experiences, not things, but there's a really important distinction to make here. A strategic experience isn't just about consumption, like going to a music festival. It's an investment, an experience that compounds over time by giving you new skills, a broader perspective, or valuable connections.
For instance, a marketing assistant spends $1,200 to go to a conference. While she's there, she meets someone who ends up helping her land a new job with a $25,000 raise. That conference paid for itself more than 20 times over in the first year alone. That's the rule of thumb. If an experience grows you or connects you, it's an investment. If it just impresses other people, you can probably skip it.
So really, when you boil it all down, building wealth is just about flipping the 7 switches in your brain. It's choosing security over status, time over trends, skills over stuff, quality over clout. It's choosing protection over procrastination, growth over instant gratification, and maybe most importantly, systems over willpower. This right here is the blueprint.
Look, none of this is flashy. It's not going to get you a ton of likes on Instagram tomorrow. But what it will buy you is something far more valuable in the long run: freedom. So we'll leave you with this question to think about. What is one purchase you can make today that your future self will look back and thank you for?